and a resurfaced video. So this was from 2018.
Yeah.
An ex-porn star is arrested, and while he's being detained and interrogated, he brings up that he was a sex slave for P. Diddy and Cassie. That he was forced to have sex with Cassie.
Bro Church is a highly sophisticated podcast, hosted by highly sophisticated people. If you believe that, I'll tell you another.
I started eating when I hit record. That was the worst.
Soon as you that's our intro. Not endorsed by Coca-Cola.
People are like, every time I tune in, this fucker's eating as soon as we I don't know what I'm doing. Welcome back. This is Bro Church. I think this is episode 9. That's the Dave. I'm Felix. Dave and I do this after work. Dave, I think you come home a lot earlier than I do. I'm rushing home. And what I didn't bring up with you before we started recording was, like, I do my business. I just started getting comfortable doing my business at work because we moved into a new building. So the bathrooms are, still fairly new because I'm weird about that. But
you're weird about going to bathrooms?
In public. In public bathrooms? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%, dude. I always would wait until I got home. But the older I get, and especially now with a newer bathroom of where I work, I do my business at work a little bit more. But today, for whatever reason, I had to go when I got home. And the older I get, man, I don't like rushing. When I do my business, it's the only time in my life where life stops, and I'm like, no, everybody will wait. It's just like my body doesn't. I think it's because my body doesn't rush. I can't. Yeah. There's times where I'm gonna go, but my body's like, nah. And I know, I might be like thinking I'm done, and my body's like, no, hold on, we got more coming down the pipeline here. You just need to just, And next thing you know, it's like 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. My legs start going to sleep.
Here we go. We're leading it to Bro Fitness right now.
My legs start falling asleep.
You can't force it. You're not supposed to force it. You're supposed to let, nature take its course, and you're supposed to sit there as it goes down, because if you force it, you can actually cause some damage intestinally, and or tear your asshole up. Literally.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
No, you don't want to end up like crawling out of the bathroom, screaming that you got diddied. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no,
you're just trying to get that shit done, literally. But you have to take your time. And to many, it is a sanctum of peace and quiet. It is our getaway from the world for an instant, for like 5 minutes, where you give shit back to the world.
Yeah, like for men, our quiet time is in the can and in the vehicle before we walk in from work.
Shit, it's not even the men thing. It's like for even for moms and dads, that's our sanctuary away from the kids. But even sometimes that's not even enough, because they're freaking knocking on the doors, wondering where the cookies are at, or hey, I got a question, or what would happen if this and that crosses, and then we go from there. And you got to sit there and go, look, man, I'm taking the shit right now.
Yeah, but like listen, it's the only time where I ignore my kids.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
When they knock on the door, I don't even say I'm in here. I don't like talking to you when I'm in. It's like a portal and I'm in another realm, and I don't like talking to you. You're in another world than me. I'm otherworldly now. I don't need. Yeah. I'm doing me here. I'm chilling, and my kids are like, "Dad, are you in there?" And I might do something like
You grunt.
Like pick the hen up, dude, because I'm,
Yeah.
you know. And so anyway, I say that because it took me a little bit longer because I was trying to set up the audio, but also like I was like, I know I told them I need to use the bathroom, but I'm just
Oh
gonna
no,
settle
yeah.
down
I was
here.
only sitting here looking at my phone while you were taking a shit for like
Yeah,
20
man.
minutes. I mean, it's
Well,
all right.
you know how
I
it is.
understand it. I truly understand. You're in the world of where your ass cheeks are hanging out, man. You gotta take that shit serious.
And I don't have an ass, so I don't
You
want
just
to
have
blow my ass out because I don't really have an ass to begin with. So when I gotta
you
go,
just
I'm
have
like,
a
let me
hole in
just.
the wall.
I'm telling you, I joke around about it, but my back starts at the bottom of my neck and goes the whole way down to right above my thigh. It's just a back.
That's what you're.
I have a cartoon character back.
Man, if my face was as strong as your belt holding on to your ass cheeks, man, I'm telling you, I'd be
Dude.
unstoppable.
I tell you, man. Like when you wear your drawers like all day, they don't have the same elasticity that they do at first thing after
Yeah.
they've been washed. So, well, I think a normal person like knows what that's like, but me, all of a sudden, I have like baggy drawers. Like it's like all of a sudden, you would have thought I hulked out, and then I went back to Bruce Banner status, and my clothes are just draping. My underwear's draping. I'm like, because I don't have an ass to like. Anyway.
Maybe
Bro
you
church
got
problems.
random poppy ass cheeks. Maybe they just pop up random. You have no idea.
Dude, when that happens, I'll let you know. I'm 45.
Yeah, random ass clap.
I have my
You're
dad's
just-
ass. I remember as an adult. I discovered my ass as an adult. That's I never realized it until one day I was like looking at my ass in the mirror and I was like, because guys don't do that. Like, you don't stare at your ass or look at your side profile.
Like,
but then
hold
one
on.
day
Let
it
me
caught
check
my
this out.
attention. Yeah. And I was like, I saw my dad's ass and I said, holy shit. It's like, because I remember seeing my dad, when I was little, my dad would be like, you got to take a bath. You're taking a shower with me. We're doing this. We did like a twofer. And I remember standing there behind my dad, like was just 5 years old. Like, this is awkward. And like my dad's ass in my face. And just like watching the shampoo like wash down his back into his crack. But I remember like that vision of his ass, and it didn't. I didn't realize then that my dad didn't have an ass. But then when I saw mine, and I realized what I was missing was the other portion of my cheeks that was not there. I said,
like,
I have
my
my
father.
dad's ass. I was like Luke, like no.
Yeah, I only found out about paid attention to my ass because Ronnie keeps telling me about my ass. She's like, your ass is so cute. I just want to grab it every time we go into the shower because we shower together. I mean, it happens every day.
Oh, God
Those
bless
are the
you.
days of lonely showers are gone. So my ass cheeks are hand in there, and there she comes, opening the door, swinging the door wide open, and she's just trying to grab my ass, and she's like, "It's just so cute." I'm like, "What are you doing?" So apparently, I have a cute ass. So according to Ronnie,
Well, my wife says the same thing about mine. I'm like, Alexandra, I don't know what you're talking about.
She just tries to grab it. I feel
you don't know.
like,
I'm like, you don't have to lie to me. Like, maybe you think it's cute, but it's not a cute ass.
That's great. Tell me the truth, woman.
Don't you lie to me. How you doing, dude? Everything going all right?
Yeah, everything's moving slowly, man. We are in the month of October, Halloween season, my best and funnest season of the year.
Well, we're still in September, dude. It's September 25th.
Stop lying to me. Stop
Slow
telling
down.
me things that I
Slow
don't
down.
want to know.
I know
It's
you're
October.
gonna be playing the what is it? Christmas Halloween Christmas movie. What's it called again? I don't know.
Killing me.
Guys.
You're freaking killing me, dude.
I don't
It's
know what is
Nightmare
it? Halloween Before Christmas. Halloween Before Christmas.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Nightmare
Nightmare.
Before Christmas. Halloween Before Christmas. That's a stupid title.
Oh, I mean, technically it comes before Christmas, so
Yeah,
I
it's
wasn't that
Nightmare
far.
Before Christmas. Epic, legendary movie for Halloween, and it slowly became the symbol of Halloween now.
Well,
Like,
I don't know about
if you
that.
noticed. I don't know if you noticed. There's more and more reference to the Nightmare Before Christmas during Halloween than there was in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I will give you that. I think it's definitely built a cult following. The cult following has grown, especially with the social media world kind of embarking in different territories now and different devices that we can watch things.
Yep.
I think, like
I'm telling you, man.
I
So
never
next
got
Halloween,
into that
it's
movie.
gonna be all-
I never, but I understand how.
It's a great movie, yeah. Okay, I even got tatted. There he is. There's Jack.
Yeah,
Right there.
that's right. You do have Jack. And didn't I
Damn right.
draw you and Ronnie's first wedding picture? I drew a Jack and Sally.
Yep.
I took
I
your
think we still
picture
have it too.
and
We have all your drawings. We're trying to get it framed up.
Yeah, I should probably get back into it. I don't know.
That would be nice. You're actually really good at it.
I used to be. I probably don't even know how to do it anymore. It's been
You
like
pick up the
9
pencil.
years. Yeah.
That's where you start.
Time
Just like
to
with
get your
anything
crayons
else.
and your pencils. So speaking of Halloween, and you're jumping the gun, it's only 1 week until October, but we are getting closer to the spooky season. That is true.
It's October. It's close enough
the
to
air-
October,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
It's just
Well-
extended.
Well, when this episode airs, which will probably be tomorrow, I guess, it'll be 1 day closer to October 1st.
There you go. There you go.
The
See?
weather is
Might as well.
turning a little chilly in the mornings. The leaves are getting
Yep.
orange and yellow and brown, and that is my favorite time of year.
Hurricane's
just
coming up. You see, you guys got cloudy as hell up there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just been raining.
Yep, that's what we got.
Yeah.
It just adds to the effect of the Halloween. It's just bringing in Halloween
Hurricanes
month perfectly.
Hurricanes don't add to the month of
Yeah, they do.
the Halloween feel, dude.
The
Unless
high
we're going-
winds.
Unless we're going to the zombie ambient playlist that has the tornado with
The ones that I sleep with. Yes, yes. I'm already finding peace just by talking about it. I feel comforted.
Like,
You know what? I'm gonna start listening to that stuff when I'm taking a shit too. I'm already at peace. That's just ultimate peace. I'm gonna come out like all glorified. Ah.
Ronnie's gonna walk by and like hear like all kinds of chaos going on.
She's like, "What
Meanwhile,
are you doing?" I'm taking a shit. I'm
You're in
relaxing.
there you're smiling, you're like wiping tears away. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm finding Nirvana.
So, dude, we're gonna use this episode here to really dive into what accidentally happened last week during our interview. I don't know.
Hope it's accidentally.
So we didn't hear this. I want to clarify. We didn't hear this while we were recording.
Mm-mm.
I mean, at least I think we would have noticed it. You and I, especially, because we've had these conversations for years, and how we are in our own way tuned in, and maybe we'll get into that, but we didn't hear it. And so playing it back while editing, I noticed a couple things. I was like, that's weird. What is that? And I thought maybe David was breathing heavy. I don't know. Maybe he coughed.
I must have had asthma, because I'm telling you what, there was some section when I was like, "What the hell?" Because I went through and played it back and made some timestamps, and dude, there were some sections where it was like,
yeah, there's weird audio.
I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
It's almost like you could hear what was another conversation overlapping ours, but there were like bits of words that were and sounds kind of cutting in, and it was like, is there somebody else? Was there somebody on the line? That's what it sounded like if you didn't know any better. And there was like a woman crying, it sounded like at one point.
Yeah. It was weird because it didn't even follow like another conversation layering ours. It was just so freaking random.
Yeah.
And then the sounds that were coming out were like growling sounds. Somebody said it was choking sounds. Like, it was just different crazy shit that was happening on those videos. And I was like, you know what? And you kept saying it was just coming out of my end.
It will because it was the Riverside feed.
Mm-hmm.
Because and this is what I wanted to do, and I didn't have time to set it up, but on my vocals, and we talked about this off air, my vocals are recorded separately, and I tried to do yours, but there was an issue, so I used your Riverside vocals. My separate vocals on my side don't have anything, and when I would mute my vocals and let your side play with from Riverside, you could hear it. It was so bizarre, and I was like, what the fuck? That's why I was like, maybe this is Riverside. Maybe there's an issue with Riverside. Now, you're saying that you looked this up? You looked it up and people were having problems on Riverside, or no?
Oh, no. I didn't know. I honestly didn't think it was. You're the one mentioned that it was Riverside. I just, like I said, the only thing I did was look up through the videos and put timestamps on it so I can we can reference back to kind of hear the noises. But okay. I think it just, as the video kept going, the worse it got. Maybe it was. Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know.
It did seem to kind of get worse.
Yeah, and it was only on the Diddy.
Okay,
video.
Yeah. Okay, that's another thing too. And I was like, I feel like when we're talking about some dramatic shit. This is happening. I can't remember I don't remember hearing it any other time during the I'm gonna mute this for now. You said you had. I'm pulling up the episode now. On YouTube, you said you have timestamps.
Yeah. So if you go to, we'll start in the beginning. I got it all the way up to like 25 minutes in.
Okay. Wow.
I know we have a whole hour, but I was like,
I'm not going to play. Yeah, we're not going to play the whole episode, just certain bits.
You know, cutting to the chase, like if you go to like timestamp, let's go to 1839 to 1841.
Okay, 1839.
That one you'll start to see that it starts to get a little worse.
Okay,
like you'll hear it clearly.
This is 1836, and I'm going to press play now. Something along those lines, and then all of a sudden, shit starts popping off, and I think the conspiracy theorists are going to start taking that route. Now, I don't know if anybody heard that. I heard it.
Did you hear it?
It sounded like, and this is... Okay, so I'm glad you picked this one first because it's when I'm editing and I have this plugin for Adobe that automatically pans the cameras back and forth for me when we're talking. So I'm talking, the camera's on me as I'm editing. I hear it. I'm thinking this must be David because it sounded like you were like being stupid. I don't know why because it wasn't anything. It didn't make sense.
Yeah.
That definitely was like a.
Yeah. So then you continue on to 1851.
Okay, 1851.
You might have to go to like 1849 to try it out, but yeah, it kicks in at 1851.
This is 1843. Conspiracy theorists are going to start taking that route. I am the believer of if you are doing this. And people find out about it and use it against you, Godspeed, bro. That you had that coming. You can't do things like this. Yeah. And then try.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? As you get deeper into the Diddy conversation, it gets worse. That's the crazy part about this. Maybe the FBI is tagging us and we don't know it. And they're just trying to not to laugh at our show because they think the shit's funny. And they're sucking at it. Pretty soon we're going to message like, dude, we tried. Sorry, that was us. we tapped your phone call. Sorry about that.
What's the you want to play? Is there one that gets really bad? I know there's one.
From 2437 all the way up to 2452, it gets like it gets pretty bad.
Okay, this is 2434. Slave and a resurfaced video. So this was from 2018.
Yeah.
Wow. An ex-porn star is arrested, and while he's being detained and interrogated, he brings up that he was a sex slave for P. Diddy and Cassie.
Dude.
That he was forced to have sex with Cassie while P. Diddy masturbated. P. Diddy's also masturbating.
Hold on a minute.
It sounds like someone's like enjoying hearing.
Yeah.
It's
That's probably
crazy.
Diddy listening in on us. Give me them dildos. Yeah. And then at 25 to 25:03, you can hear it clearly too.
25 to, thank
There's
God
that
you got
whole
time
piece of
stamps.
section where it's just bad.
25,
Yep.
25 flat to 25:03.
Yeah. Probably go back to like 24.
So it's only
59
3
or something.
seconds, you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put 24:55 here. Diddy masturbated. He's also P. Diddy's also masturbating while these freak offs and acts are taking place. He's got a really he got a fetish, bruh. Like he you know.
Wow.
I had sex with Cass.
And the crazy part is that's pretty much the back and forth you get throughout the video.
Yeah, that was pretty
That's
much
the crazy part about it. Yeah. So, like I said, so we either have the FBI listening in on us, or we got P. Diddy in the cell listening on us, and he's not appreciating what we're saying about him. Or his crew, or whoever's in line for all this shit.
Wow. Yeah. So
It's either that or my house is fucking haunted. One or the other two.
somebody on TikTok, and so somebody says, what are the sounds in the background? Because I share a clip, and when somebody says that and I kind of play the clip back, it reminds me, like, oh shit, that's right, I heard noises while editing. And so now I'm listening to the episode again and it's there, and I'm like, whoa. Dude, I don't know what that was. I don't know if it was some sort of energy, some bad energy that we were, which I don't understand, because what is it about that topic that stirred any type of emotion?
I mean, imagine how many people he freaking hurt, you know,
Oh,
and how many
man.
people he's trying to, well, I don't want to say cover up for, but we're probably working with him that are in social media. So who knows? Maybe they're scanning the system, trying to figure out anytime somebody mentions Diddy's name or 748 dildos, we pop up on a scan.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, it could be happening right now. That's another thing, though, is
It
we
could
don't
very well
hear
be.
it in real time, though.
Yeah,
We only hear it on the playback.
that's crazy.
That's what trips. It's not like we're talking right now and all of a sudden we're hearing something and we're like, what is that?
It's almost like you know when you go ghost hunting, they have like the EVPs. and all that
EVP.
other
That's the
stuff,
first thing
like-
I thought of, dude.
Yeah, that's
is
what
that
I mean. I think that's what
EVP?
it, like what electronic voice
Voice
monitoring system or
electronic
something like that?
voice
EVP,
phenomenon.
yeah, electromagnetic field meters. That's EMF.
Yeah, but electric voice phenomenon is
There
EVP.
it is. There it is. Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's the case, because a lot of times you don't hear it as you're recording. You hear it on the playback.
On the playback, which is the first thing I thought of was, did we pick up EVP? Which is the
what's
first
funny?
time ever that I have
Here's the
ever done that.
Dude, this is the crazy shit right here. So I'm explaining to Ronnie what we're going to talk about tonight, and she goes, "You know what? This was happening to me after you guys did that episode with P Diddy, and the situation that he was in." She said because she like, you know how she likes to send the voice clips, on Messenger. She said when she sent a voice clip, and she said it was a few voice clips that she sent. One of them she went to do on the playback, and one of them was like at the end of it, she can hear a lady going, "Oh." I was like, "Oh shit, seriously?" She's like, "Yeah, it freaked her out." So here's another thing. Yeah, this is a whole nother app, a whole nother program, and she's picking it up. So I don't know, man. I don't know if it has to do with Riverside or what, but like I said, she mentioned it not too long ago, right before we got started. Because I was telling her the rundown on what we're gonna do, and she's like, "Yeah, that shit happened to me when I was doing a voice clip."
Huh. That is very interesting, very intriguing. It makes me wonder, like, did we tap into something, or did something try tapping into what we were doing?
And you know what? I would love to know what would be wanting to tap into our show, because you have all eternity, the universe at your fingertips, but you want to tap into Bro Church, the one that we just got started with
Two
like
grown men
10
acting like fucking
viewers.
kids. And you decide this is where I want to fuck with
This is where I want to spend my time in the afterlife, is listening to these two knuckleheads talk about shit. Like, imagine being dead. Oh yeah, these guys are pretty. Who knows? Maybe we're popular on the paranormal side. Maybe we have a following already.
I can see my dad up there right now going, Lito, that's enough. Knock that off.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you what, your dad would be laughing at a lot of our jokes, though.
He would be laughing, but he would also be like, Lito, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
David?
Yeah. And then later on, you can see his shoulders jump.
His face turning red.
Man.
Maybe he's protecting us, and it would have gotten worse, but he was up there like, no. You do this.
Yeah, maybe that was him grunting like every time.
Maybe that was my dad, like, just knock that shit off. Just knock it off, please.
That's probably him going, oh my God.
Oh my. Yeah. On his side, he was going, boys, that's enough. But all we heard was, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad. I love you.
Yeah, sorry, Mr. Felix. It was his idea.
So this kind of reminded me, dude, like in the 20-some years that we've known each other, we've had a lot of conversations about paranormal shit. And I've shared with you some things, and you've shared with me. One of the things that I've brought up to, I've had this conversation with Alexandra, is like in the last 9 years that her and I have been together, my experiences with what I would call paranormal shit, or the energy, has really dwindled. It hasn't. I don't really experience it as much, and I'm just kind of always chalking that up to I'm in a different headspace where before I was very down and depressed for the longest time, probably my first half of my adult life at that time. And for the last 9 years, I've just been in a different place with Alexandra. I don't know if I'm in a place where I can easily tap into the dark or the negative energy that is hard. You can't see it, but it's there. I don't know if you remember when I was living in Soylo's basement, right before I got out of there, I was having experiences of what I felt like was a presence that was like there, feeding off of my depression. So this whole thing kind of reminded me of like those conversations that you and I had. Yeah,
I mean, you got to think these entities or whatever that's out there, because we people call them whatever they can, like, demons, angels, spirits, spirit guides, all this other, spirit animals and all. They have a category for it, but whatever is out there, some of them are just leeches. They need something to feed on. They're hungry. They feed on negative, and some of them, I won't say feed on positive, but I guess that's probably a good term for it, because it's what exists out there. I mean, we were created out of chaos, the first bang, created, that's just pure chaos. So
sure. Yeah.
So we all contain that positive and negative energy within us. So a lot of times when we're feeling down, that negative energy takes control. So it kind of taps into the negative side of things. So our brains put up walls, like filters, like we do in our air conditioning. And just like our filters, the more shit that gets on it, the less go through that we're able to see. But the more that builds up, the more negative that builds up. So you're sitting there, you're starting to see more, and what you see isn't what reflecting of what you want to see. So when you're negative thoughts, you see negative things. You feel like these negative entities because they feed off of that shit. But when you're in a bliss time of your life, which you are now, you're at peace. You see what I'm saying? So you're not, I don't want to say you're not paying attention to it, but you're just like at a blissful moment that you don't have to pay attention to it, that you're so happy that you're just living your life. But if you believe it or not, if you actually sit down and actually pay attention to it, you'll find peaceful entities come through and really start to want to connect. And then you feel a form of peace. You'll feel some wisdom come through your mind. Some things positive start happening in your lives, but that's only happens when you sit and really take in that you're in a good spot. You're in a good place. It's weird how it works, but yeah, it's like a flip on the coin.
Yeah. I mean, there were no peaceful entities that came through the podcast last week.
Because we weren't talking. But
I mean, there could have been like I'm a peaceful entity. I support your podcast or something. Like, I don't know. Like, No,
I mean, probably in the future, we'll probably get more peaceful entities come through, but we kind of started off that show pretty harsh. I mean, the only thing that'd be coming through is like, hi, I'm dildo number 791. I sat on the shelf for a while, I
mean, it's just so bizarre. We didn't have anything like that before. I'm curious if there's anything happening right now as we're recording.
Probably.
Like now, as I edit this episode, I'm gonna be like, I'll let the dog come in now and let him sit with me. Don't leave me alone.
People are gonna be with us. They say, "Oh, you got nobody watching." I'm like, "Oh yeah, we do. They're dead, but they're watching." Who says we don't have fans?
That'd be so funny. I'm like, I know that you're coming back to my dad though, where can you imagine like everybody up there like, this is actually really good, and he's like, this isn't what I thought I did.
Yeah, this is what I.
This is what I envisioned.
Of all the things I taught, they're talking about baby oil. What is going on here?
Dildos. This is not. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, just let it go, Felix. Let it go. Your dad's like, I knew this was going to happen when David and Felix would just sit together. I was trying to keep them apart, but it just wasn't working.
I mean, the clip the video I uploaded of the Diddy segment is out playing the entire episode.
It's hot news right now, man.
There's like double the amount of views on that, and we don't have Joe Rogan numbers. But I'm kind of like, and I get it. I'm not dumb. I'm not naive. I get it. We're talking about something that's hot and trending right now, but it's also just like, I'm just surprised that not many people were like, what the fuck is that shit playing in the background? Emmy commented after I brought it up. She was like, yeah, I heard it. But only one random person on TikTok was like, what are those sounds? And he said, it sounds like there's a woman crying. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're trying to imply here, but we didn't do anything. It's not like we tied somebody up while we're recording just to get the full effect.
We have a captive audience. That's what it is. Jesus.
Have you had any recent experiences like how we used to talk about, or
God, every freaking day, but that's just my cross I have to carry.
Okay, so you still deal with it like we.
One of my favorite moments I do remember is remember you got that apartment?
Yeah.
And you were like, hey,
okay,
look, I know. I know shit's going to be serious because every time you come up to me about something like that, you're like, hey, man, look, I don't want you joking. This is serious. Like you always tell me, no sarcasm, no jokes. We got to talk real quick. I'm like, oh, shit, this is some serious shit. It's like, look, man. But when you told me, you're like, I want you to go to my house. I want you to scan it and make sure nothing's in there. I'm like, I got you. Call the Ghostbusters. We're on this.
I said, dude, it sounds like, are you tapping on something?
Huh? Oh yeah, sorry, that was my notepad.
Okay. I'm like, it's happening now.
It's happening now.
Okay, so yeah, I do remember that. So what happened, for those that don't know, when I went through a divorce 10 years ago or 11 years ago. Anyway, I got an apartment.
Damn, 11 years already.
Yeah, 2014. I got my apartment 2014. So 10 years. My apartment the building had 2 units. I had the bottom unit. It was the whole bottom floor, from the front to the back. And I had a back door that kind of led to the basement. Access to the basement was from my kitchen and from the outside, right? So I say that because the people that rented the unit above me could enter. They had access to the basement also. But they never used it, like, ever. So I had the basement to myself. That's where I worked out. I used it for storage. So anyway, so what happened was I kept, what was it now? The basement light kept turning on. Like, I would turn it off. I'd go in the kitchen, whatever. And then I'd walk by the back door and I could see into the basement steps and the light was on again. And I'd be like, what the fuck? I thought I turned this off. Well, this happens on and on and on and on. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So
he calls in the local paranormal investigator.
And
the only one he can find.
I locked the back door. And this is where I ended up texting you, or I called you, because I locked the back door, right? I locked it. And don't you know, it was unlocked and the basement light was on. This is during the summer. So I'm like, holy fucking shit. Either someone's breaking in or there's some shit going on in this house, right? So I go, Dave. I call him up. I'm like, Dave. Because I know Dave is into this shit. I'm like, I'm just letting you know right now, there's some shit going on in this house. I need you and Ronnie to come down, or if you want to come down on your own, and I need you to do what you do. We need to figure this shit out and check the energy in this place. And I said, I'm going to try one more thing. And I took string, I don't know, twine or something. I can't remember. And I wrapped it around the back doorknob, right? And then I took it and wrapped it around the banister that's going down into the basement, because it was right by the door. And I'm wrapping this bitch tight, like fucking 20 wraps. Just, there's no way anybody's getting into this fucking, nobody. If this light gets turned on, this place is possessed. Yo, 20 minutes later, there's a knock at the door. I'm like, holy fucking shit. This is it. Somebody's fucking here. And I open the door and it's this little kid. And he goes, hi, we live upstairs. Did you lock the back door? And I went, why? He goes,
why, you little demon?
Yeah, are you really human? He's like, yeah, I have to go downstairs. My mom sent me to go to the basement. The breaker keeps tripping in their apartment, and she kept sending her son down to flip the breaker because the air conditioner unit that they had in the window kept tripping the breaker. I'm like, holy fucking really?
Here is you're giving paranormal shit to this kid now. This poor kid's like, this place is fucking haunted.
But Dave, there's the funny part, right? Oh wait, it was the brother and sister. It was 2 little kids. So I go, okay, just let me go. I'll go unlock it for you. I didn't think, the back door, it's glass. So you can see people outside. I'm out. I'm on the inside, unwrapping the twine around the doorknob, getting it off, and there are the kids there just standing there looking through the window, just looking at me. Like, what's he doing? What is that? And I'm like, yeah, that was me. I just did this. I booby trapped the shit out of this. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. That was it. I called David back like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, leave me be.
Yeah, usually when the breaker trips, it's because you can't run whatever it is you're running. And they just kept saying, go flip the breaker. So then that was, I was like, okay, you guys definitely are accessing the basement. All right, so I'm not fucking living in a possessed apartment.
Yeah. I just love that as you're thinking it, they're thinking it too. They're going to grow up. We had paranormal activity in our basement. A ghost even put a twine on the door.
I know, right? Like they were completely fine, oblivious, and now he's like, Mom, I don't want to go in the basement anymore. Yeah. Apparently our neighbor says that.
Oh my God, that's freaking great.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, dude. I love that category. We should do a paranormal walk. Oh, I did tell you what. Speaking of which, me and Ronnie actually did paranormal walk. They used to have it in Mountjoy, PA, and they still do. I think. I don't know. I gotta look. But anyway, we did one year for Halloween, and there's an old station over there where they used to keep criminals down in the basement. It was like a messed up old, cobblestone brick jail. So they're taking a tour downstairs and they say, prisoners would die down here. I'm like, oh, okay. And this is back then, with the flip phones.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, flip the phone. I'm like, I'm just going to take random pictures. Like I did it in a way like I'm going to trick the ghosts. Like they're not going to notice me taking pictures, like, oh, I'm slick. But then I think back, I'm like, they're fucking ghosts. They don't give a shit. They're probably standing there like, oh, this idiot's acting like I don't see him taking the picture of me. So I walk by a room. I take a snapshot. I'm like, yeah, I got that. And I take another snapshot. And I get home and I'm looking through the pictures and I zoom in and boom, it's clear as day. There's somebody sitting on the bench. Like you can transparently, you can see through them with the long beard. And I'm like, oh shit. So I give it to Ronnie and Ronnie's like, yup, that's it right there. And I'm like, holy shit. And it was a really cool tour because we did that. And then there was another house there's different haunted houses in that place. And there was another one where they used to do seance. So they were like reenacting a seance. And we're standing there watching them. So they're replaying this historical moment when they did the seance and all the shit was happening. But I kid you not, dude, I'm standing there and I'm just watching this happen. I'm like, oh, these fucking people, they're this is dumb shit right here. And all of a sudden I feel like, because they were saying kids used to live in that house that passed away that would run around. And right before they said that, I felt a tug, like a kid was tugging on my jacket. And I'm like, I'm looking at Babe. I'm like, is that you? She's like, I'm paying attention to the seance. I'm not tugging at you. So I'm looking back. I'm like looking for a kid because it felt like a kid was tugging on my jacket. And then they did the explanation. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. I want to do it again.
Yeah, I would like to do that. I would love to do that and also learn the history. I mean, I know it sounds morbid to some people, I guess, but yeah, I would love to fucking do that.
Let's do the haunted prison in Philly, dude. We got to do that.
I think Alexandra wants to do that. Either she wants to or she's already done it. And I know we've talked about it before. I know
we got to do it. Either that or Gettysburg. We can meet up in Gettysburg. Gettysburg has the haunted walks.
We can do both.
That'd be fucking awesome, dude.
Hell yeah.
Imagine us, the bro paranormal activity investigators.
They're like, you know what? You guys can't come back because last time you guys were here, everything got fucked up.
Yeah. We're still trying to calm the ghosts down.
Hey, I just realized that you're not recording with your mic, dude. I think you're recording with your laptop mic.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Look at you.
Internal microphone. Oh, no.
I don't think you can change it now. It's no big deal.
Does it sound bad?
No, it doesn't sound bad, but it just sounds like I don't hear you like you're talking into that mic.
Huh. Oh, yeah. It says internal mic. It switched on me. Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Because I was like, man, I can't hear you when you get close to the mic. Like, I can hear you, but the audio doesn't get better when you get closer to the mic.
Is it going to sound horrible?
No, it's just going to sound like I'm talking to somebody that's talking, like getting zoomed in. You know, it's not bad. It's just, I hear you clear as day. It's just,
damn, that sucks, dude.
Well, it's my fault too, because I didn't think of checking that. I got to get that. I got to get into a habit of checking that. We just got to do this together live.
I know. Yeah. Oh, that's great. You want me to, you sure it's not going to mess up the...
No. We're already 44 minutes in. It's not going to be bad. I don't think I didn't even notice it until I decided to look down because I noticed you. So it's not a big deal. But yeah, dude, I'm not going to say I'm not wigged out about what came over the the audio sounds that came through last week's episode, but I'm also kind of like, now I'm intrigued. Now I'm like, like, what the fuck? Like I wonder if maybe we should do an episode where we're like trying to contact somebody. But see that I don't know.
Yeah. What are you, nuts?
I don't want to tell
That's all we freaking need. That's all we need.
Alexandra will kill me too, dude.
Yeah.
You did what?
I think our wives will make us dead.
Our wives will unalive us.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I mean, listen, for everybody that tuned in then and heard the weird, creepy voices, you're welcome. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't planned. But, I mean, look, you take lemons and you make lemonade. We got a conversation going now talking about paranormal activity. It is the Halloween season's coming up. My dad was born on Halloween. Into it. Yeah. I've had, like I said, it's been a long time. I used to get them a lot. Experiences, the energy, feeling, cold rooms. I used to, for the longest time, and it got to the point where I could actually smell, like, it just does sound weird. I could smell colors, or when I saw a color, I could smell something that color reminded me of, for whatever reason. When I started dating Alexandra, I could smell her perfume when I was at work.
Oh wow!
Yeah, or I could smell my grandfather's cologne, just randomly, just out of nowhere. I could smell cologne. And sometimes I would hear, this is before my dad passed away too, I would hear my dad yell my name, Nito! And I'd turn around like at work, but like, or I could hear somebody, still to this day it happens, I think I hear somebody say Felix. And I'm like turning around and I'm waiting for somebody to kind of wave their hand like that was me. And nobody called me, but I can hear it. Like in the ambiance of the workday. I can hear my name called, and sometimes I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I just want to go back to the fact that you say you smell colors. Like,
yeah.
Like if you see red, you smell red?
No, I don't know if I smell red. I just smell something.
Oh, okay.
That
so
like
you smell more like entities, but not colors. I was like, whatever you're smelling, if you can smell colors, I want to know what you're smoking.
Yeah, I know.
And what you're drinking.
No, it's not like I smell. The reason why I said it, though, because that's why I said it's going to sound weird. For whatever reason, when I recognize it, it's only when I tie into the fact that like right now I'm looking at my screen. I'm looking at my collective logo, my JMC Collective red logo. There would be times where if I'm looking at that, all of a sudden I could start smelling something that was not there 30 seconds ago. And the more I focus on that color, the more I'm smelling it. And it only happened a few times. And it wasn't like I recognized the smell. I just distinctly could tell there was a shift in the aroma in the room.
Yeah. So what you're doing is involuntary meditation, and you're locking in without knowing you're locking in. So one form of meditation is to stare at a certain color, and kind of, shut your brain off, but not shut it off. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's you start narrowing in and you start hypnotizing yourself, in a good way, to seek that meditation, to seek the nirvana, I guess you want to call it. But
Hmm.
that's what you're doing it involuntary by when you're staring at colors. When you're driving and the road patterns keep coming in,
Yeah.
so it's not, it's sometimes you just hyper focus on the road colors, and then next thing you know, you don't remember the past 10 miles,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
your body took over and you drove. Well, that's a form of hypnotism because the road patterns are consistent. So when you're staring at a color, it's another form of meditation. And sometimes when you lock in, then you let go of this worldly connection and you start tapping into other things. And to you, your sense is probably the sense of smell. Other
Hmm.
people is a sense of sight, sense of hearing, sense of touch. It all
Hmm.
comes into play. It's pretty cool.
It is. It is pretty cool there because after a while, and it's only happened maybe a handful of times, but after a while with it, I could tell like that's weird. That has to
Hmm.
be because I was looking at that or whatever. Or when my first child was born, when Kirsten was born, my grandfather had passed 6 months prior, and as I'm getting ready to go back there to see her because Kirsten was born cesarean. So as I was waiting, all of a sudden I could smell out of nowhere my grandfather's cologne, as if he was like
Hmm.
there with me. I could smell it, and I remember it was one of the first times I ever experienced something like that, where there was no confusing. Sometimes, because I'm a skeptic on top
Hmm.
of understanding and believing, I'm also a skeptic. So I don't go with the first like this has to be paranormal activity. I'm usually like, what's the logical explanation for
Yeah.
that? It was one of those things where there was no other explanation for it. It was dead on. I could sometimes, like I said, I could hear my name, I could smell things. Um, and then there are those moments where you see, um, even as a kid, I remember
Hmm.
as a kid in my house growing up, I'm doing dishes just like your house there. There's a cutout in the where you could see into the living room from the kitchen, and I'm standing in front of the sink where the cutout is, and I'm putting dishes in the dishwasher. And as I'm doing that, there's a lady in a blue dress who's dancing in the living room, and she's dancing like real like ballet in a way or something,
Hmm.
just real slow and elegant. But I'm noticing this in my peripheral as I'm putting things in the dishwasher. And as a young kid, I'm realizing within a couple seconds, let me look up here, maybe because I'm registering this as that's my mom. What's
Hmm.
my mom doing? And as I go to look up, the lady kind of goes out of out of my frame of vision. And so I leave the kitchen, I go through the hallway to the living room, and I didn't see anybody. And so I tell my mom, like, I just saw a lady in a blue dress dancing, and she was like, you need to go I want to call your aunt, and you need to tell her what you just said, what you just saw. And my mom calls her. I tell my aunt what I saw, and my aunt was like, "Oh my gosh, last night I had a dream of a woman dancing, and she was wearing a blue dress." And
Wow.
I was like,
Say.
I just saw it was like a blue flowing dress.
Yeah.
It was just so that there's nothing else to really say about it. That's just what it was, and it was
Yeah.
so like I can't explain that. I saw
Yeah, I'm telling
something.
you, sometimes you don't even have to explain it. It's just there. It happens. Shit
Right,
happens,
right.
you know? So, and that's the draw. That's the allure to it because it's it's another explanation to what's out there, because everybody's wondering what's next, you know, and to know it, to seek that adventure, man, that's enticing. So that's why I love
It
it.
is.
I love that
You're right.
category. because
it's
you want to
very
know.
enticing. It's very enticing because are we going to contribute to that energy when it's our time to go? How does that work? And like, the energy that people feel, the frequency, and that's very real.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people like diving into that type of conversation.
No, people are like, oh, that's evil.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. That's blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Even though it's part of, we've been doing it for centuries since we learned how to walk, as humans, we've been doing it for centuries, been tapping in. I mean, shit, we were tapping in harder back then than we were now. So, now we have our phones and technology to distract us. So we're not tapping in as much, but shit, up to the 60s, we were 60s, 70s, we were still tapping in. They were doing paranormal warfare, trying to use psychic warfare, so you can't tell me that they didn't find something, There's a lot of tests that were stopped abruptly that were like, yeah, we tapped into something and we don't want to go back there and again. So we're cutting the funding to this shit. So, during World War II, they did immense testing on paranormal activities, So what did they find?
Yeah.
What's out there?
What did they see? What did they hear?
What did they hear? Who knows? Maybe they're hearing bro church from the past, and they managed to figure out from the future how to tap into it. Sorry you wasted your time, but
well,
it
I know that pets can sense things, and especially dogs. Well, I say especially because I've only ever had dogs, but I'm sure cats can as well. But so far, Max hasn't like flipped out over some shit that has kind of. I've always used like a dog or as my barometer of, are we good here? Because if the dog's wigged out, I'm wigged out because that dog senses something. I'll never forget.
Remember that scene in Predator when that tall Indian guy was standing looking, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger sneaks up behind him. That's literally what you do with your dog when they're standing there. What did you see? What's the problem?
Whoa, what did you see? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die. Dude, that was a badass movie.
Billy!
Yeah.
Let's go!
That movie showed the true meaning of friendship. Like the true meaning of being in a team and brotherhood. Because let me tell you something. When what's his name started shooting into the forest, none of them asked any questions. They were shooting themselves. They turned that fucking place into a parking lot. Yeah. They didn't say, hey, what you're shooting at, or what are you doing? Why are you? No, nothing. They were like, oh, you're shooting over there? Yeah, we're going to fucking kill whatever you think is over there. We're going to kill it. And then we're going to ask you what happened.
Yeah, it's they level the fucking rainforest or the jungle that
leveled
they're in.
It.
You're right. There's no question. It's just all. It's like
right
at
there.
least
you don't fucking ask questions.
It's like 30 seconds straight of just anarchy.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna get me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun tonight. What's he say? Like the guy as he's like running.
Yeah.
Forget the guy's name, but he keeps saying something.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a great movie. My father-in-law loves that movie, and every now and then
I still have the DVD collection.
Yeah, he'll come over. It'll be like a Sunday. If it's not football season because we're watching football, but outside of the season of football, they're over, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw on Predator, and then you can just sit and watch that. Caden loves it. It's Anyway. Yeah, man. I think maybe what we should do is maybe have another conversation. We'll see how this goes.
Okay.
If people seem to like really enjoy this episode, maybe in October we'll have a really deep dive into a topic of conversation. Maybe the listeners and viewers can give us some suggestions. Like, hey, let's talk about this, talk about that, and maybe they can give us some things that we didn't know about and look up. And fuck it, man, I'm all about that shit.
I'm all about it, dude. I'm all about that, especially in the month of Halloween. Hell yeah, why not?
Yeah, the Christmas Before Halloween movie. What's it called?
Yep. Jesus fucking Christ. Nightmare Before Christmas, dude. Nightmare Before fucking Christmas. All right?
It's the only time I ever see you get offended, dude. That's there's no for one day a year, David becomes me, where he's like offended. 364 days, it's me. I'm
That's
always
what
like,
does it.
oh,
You called me every name in the book, but that right there, that one does it.
you said JFC, like, damn, bro. I mean, it must be some real shit. Would you be like,
Totally, man.
Christmas Before Halloween? I love that movie, and don't disrespect it.
Yeah, like one thing, man.
All right, man. Well, I think this is. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Did you have?
No,
anything else?
I think this is good. I think we should get through the month of October. We should just start doing some paranormal shit, and even talk about horror movies and stuff like that. That'd be fun. We can really
rate some slasher movies. Now here's the thing. I didn't watch enough. I do have my favorites. I'm not a big, I guess, the new age slasher movies, but yeah, I guess we could in theory discuss some of the horror lore.
Yeah.
The Americana experience of horror.
The lore is something else. Yeah. I see lore really taking off, and man, who doesn't want to know a little deeper into the favorite slasher stuff?
Oh, maybe we'll do that. Yeah, because I love me some Michael Myers. I'm old school.
Yeah.
So I got Michael Myers as my guy. I say that like we're Facebook friends, but anyway,
Yeah.
All right, man.
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you very much for doing the timestamps. That was not a bit. We legit had no idea that was happening, and I'm curious as to see if the voices have returned for this episode as I do my editing.
We'll see what happens.
All right, man. That's the Dave. I am Felix. Thank you all for listening. Enjoy your day. See you next time. Peace.